Not an amazing performance from Leinster, but it was still enough to put 40 points on Connacht. My name's Mark, let's talk rugby. The talk in the run-up to this one was the fact that Johnny Sexton was back starting for Leinster, and he had a significant role to play right from the start, really, for Leinster. So first off, we have Halloran. He gives away a penalty. He kind of gets his timing wrong on a high ball and comes in under the, somebody trying to catch a high ball. So Leinster kick the ball into the corner. From the line out then, they spread the ball and off the back of the ball, and Sexton puts Turner through a gap and he goes straight in to score. Sexton misses the conversion, but we're at 5-0 after a few minutes. And, Sexton is so good at that, just putting someone through and beyond the cover defence. Then Connacht tried to respond. They get a bit of momentum, but Natai gets over the ball. He wins a penalty for Leinster. Connacht, at this stage, they're doing pretty well to disrupt the Leinster lineout, and the Murray brothers are nicking a few lineouts from Leinster. And then when Leinster even are winning the ball, it's not clean like that. Kind of the lineout that they scored from the first try was one of the cleanest lineouts Leinster had for most of the night. So Connacht did a really good job on that one. Connacht, then they're able to get themselves into Leinster 22. They spread the ball. But Porch gives a poor pass under pressure and the move breaks down. Just a word on that guy as well. He's been an absolute revelation for Connacht this season. There's talk about maybe his contract, he won't extend his contract with Connacht at the end of the season. I feel like if he, talk about maybe he's going to go back to Australia. So I would imagine that there's a lot of Connacht fans who definitely want him to stay on there in Connacht if he could. But back to the game. So you have a penalty against Doris for sealing off at the breakdown. Carty kicks that one into 22. Connacht go off the top from the line out, and Blade, nice pass to Carty, and he then puts Hawkshaw through a gap. Nice step from Hawkshaw. He goes over to score against his old team, so that's one that he would have really enjoyed. That's converted by Carty. Connacht hit the front 7-5, and early doors, they're responding well, playing against Leinster in the RDS. Then Jameson Gibson Park, he goes quickly from penalty, passes to Sexton, he gets into the 22, but then as he spread the ball, Bird, kind of a combination of Bird and I think it was Ryan, they knocked the ball on. But then shortly after, Leinster win a penalty for not rolling away. Sexton goes into the corner again. And at this stage, he asks James Ryan if a lineout is okay, because he's worried, because at that point, they'd lost 4 of their first 6 lineouts. So he wants to make sure that they're going to get the ball off this one. Ryan says, yeah, it's okay. So they go for it, kicks into the corner. The Maul initially makes some pretty good ground. Then it goes for some pick and goes. Then Deeney is at the base of a ruck. He kind of just picks it and snipes around the corner and gets over before anyone can put a hand on him. That's his first Leinster try. Sexton does add the extras this time and are at 12-7. Connacht then, they come back upfield with some nice handling. Connacht play nice rugby, when they're given the chance. It's just that Leinster have this ability to smother teams and put them off the game. But Connacht, at this stage, they are playing some decent rugby. But Leinster are able to get that penalty to make the move break down through O'Brien. Then Jordan Larmour turns the Connacht defence absolutely inside and out around the halfway line, dances through a Halloran and a couple of others. He then offloads to Jimmy O'Brien, who breaks up the wing. O'Brien is under pressure, so he kicks the ball through, and Carty kind of completely loses the ball. Like, it kind of bounces up at him, and he's not able to gather. The ball goes loose, and Larmour is there to collect it and score. Sexton converts that one, and we're at 19-7. And like, there hasn't been that much between the teams, but Leinster just have that ability to be so clinical that they just stretch the lead out to the point where it's very difficult to come back at them. Really, to beat Leinster, you need to do what they do and suffocate them and keep the score down and just keep them at arm's length. And teams kind of find it very difficult to do that against them, because a lot of the time when Leinster get a chance, they're going to score. So Leinster, though, line out malfunctions again. That's definitely not, a good point for them out of this game. It's something they're definitely going to have to work on now going into Europe again this weekend coming up. Natai, he concedes a penalty for not releasing. Connacht, from there, then they get into some good position. They're picking and going. Carty then spreads the ball, and Farrell is able to go over. Carty kind of screws the conversion attempt very badly. Like, it was kind of a banana kick away from the post. So we're at 19-12 there. And that's something that's probably kind of counts against Carty a lot, is that his kicking can be very erratic. And like, when you've got a vital kick for Ireland in a test match in a World Cup game, you wouldn't put your money on Carty to nail it. If it was like to give a sweet pass and put someone through a gap, Carty's your man. But kicking from the tee, it's probably why he hasn't got as many Ireland caps as his ability with the ball would say that he probably should have. But we're pretty competitive here in the first half between the two teams. Connacht then, they start the second half well, but Bird is able to get over and win the penalty. Bird started kind of for Leinster as a second row. Now he's been playing six a lot. He's playing six in this one, and it's kind of where they see his future at, which is good, and it's probably why I think he's probably going to go to the World Cup, because he can fill in. He has that versatility to fill in the back row and in the second row. So it's going to be hard to dislodge him from the World Cup squad, probably. Leinster, though, they begin finding some holes and getting into the Connacht 22. We have some quick ball from a ruck, and Larmour is able to go over from short range. He kind of got the ball out on the wing, right on the touchline, but he then cuts back in, like one of steps that Larmour, only a few other players are able to do. That just instant change of direction, and he goes over, but Hawkshaw is the defender in front of him, and Hawkshaw, is thinking he's gonna go outside of me, and he's shaping up to do that. And then the step comes, and Hawkshaw tries to adjust his body. His studs get caught in the turf, and he gets injured. Unfortunately, he has to go off on a stretcher. So hopefully, after playing so well in this game, and actually he's had a decent season for Connacht to date, that hopefully he's not out for too long either, that we see him back soon. Sexton misses the conversion. We're at 24-12. And something, Sexton hasn't played for a while, and something that Ireland are going to have to look at as well is, we talked about Carty's kicking being erratic. Sexton's kicking isn't up to the level that it used to be, and hopefully that doesn't cost him in the coming Six Nations, that he gets that form back with the boot. But Leinster then, defenses, they're really putting on pressure on Connacht. Josh van der Fleer is kind of having a quiet game with ball in hand, but he's quick off the line, leading that defensive charge and putting that pressure on Connacht. Carty gets a yellow card for not releasing. Gibson Park decides to tap and go quickly. Carty for not retreating, not releasing. So Gibson Park taps and goes from penalty, and Carty kind of steps in his way to block him, and then he gets the yellow card for that. So Leinster have 10 minutes, a man up, and generally Leinster are that's when they pile on the points, right? They win another penalty, they kick it into the corner, they go close, but they're actually pinged for going off their feet at the breakdown. Connacht then get upfield, they win another penalty, they kick to the corner. Leinster are able to push their maul back though and prevent them from scoring. Kelleher then is able to get over the ball, and he wins a penalty for Leinster. But that was a really good period for Connacht in their play. They're a man down. They're actually the team going forward. Blade is looking very lively for them as well, giving them quick ball and not afraid to go through a gap himself as well. Connacht see out the yellow card without conceding at all, and that's really well done to them against this Leinster team. Then we have I'd say all Leinster fans and probably a lot of Ireland fans had their hearts in the mouth when Sexton has to go off injured. It looked like he some kind of maybe cheek injury or something. Not quite sure, but it was a clash of heads, and so he has to go off. Harry Byrne is in for him. Harry Byrne himself, he's a huge prospect for Leinster, but the guy is just can never get a string of games because he's always getting injured. So hopefully he can stay fit and maybe get see some European action maybe, but his brother Ross might actually get the nod ahead of him for that. So Leinster then they have another line out, and Heffernan pinches this one. Connacht are able to surge forward. They have a sustained period of possession and they're applying more pressure again, but just not able to get that final pass, that final play that can get them to score. Leinster then noticeably up the tempo. They get into the Connacht 22. We have Van der Fleer, Doris and Natai all making good ground for them. They're on the line. Foley spots some space out wide. He's on for Gibson Park. He gives a nice long pass out to Russell. Russell goes over. Conversion is missed by Byrne. We're at 29-12. Natai then, he spots a gap and he goes through it. And he has Ryan Baird on his shoulder. He pops the ball off to him. Baird goes in to score. He's got some set of wheels for a second row / back row forward. Byrne does adds the extras this time. We're at 36-12. Leinster then, they have a lovely first phase move off a scrum. Van der Fleer goes over in the corner at the end of that one. Larmour and Russell were, they combined Larmour off his wing out to Russell. Russell then puts Van der Fleer away and he has the pace to get in the corner. Byrne misses the conversion, but we're at 41-12 and that's how it ended. Connacht, not a terrible performance from them despite the scoreline. Some decent individual performances there as well. There's some good periods in the game. There's stuff to build for them on there, but they do have to, back up their good play with getting some results as well. Leinster, they just kind of eased away. They made plenty of changes from the previous week. A lot of guys, either making debuts or the first game in a while or whatever. But as usual, the players stepped up and they were just able to perform.